up, Capricorn gang? Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. Welcome. Happy to have you guys. This will be a general reading for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Of course, anyone and everyone is welcome to join this reading. I just ask that you come in with an open heart, with an open mind, and only take away the messages that resonate with you. The messages that motivate, empower, inspire you. That's what I'm looking to do here on my channel. So if you're not feeling that way, do feel free to click off. Tune in next time. Maybe something will resonate the next time around. You're accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. Other than that, let's have some fun. Let's tap into Capricorn's energy and get them some messages this week. And thanks for your patience. I know my diehard fans, all 10 of you. I ended up taking 2 weeks off accidentally. My energy was just really bad during the lunar eclipse kind of week-ish. So thanks for your patience. I'm back and my energy is good again, so let's do it. Long story short. All right, Capricorn, no more excuses. Capricorns, just like do the work, all right, man? Just do the work. All right, channeling my inner Capricorn. Here we go. What's coming in? Messages for Capricorn. Just do it. Okay. The Four of Swords. You're breaking down. This is very actually indicative of the, or symbolic rather, of the eclipse we just had. South Node Sagittarius, moving away, loss from concepts, philosophies, greater ideas. North Node in Gemini, breaking down the mutable air sign, breaking down facts and ideas versus big concepts, ideologies. There's something about you're breaking down something that is big and either breaking it into small pieces that are digestible. I don't know if you're doing a lot of teaching right now, like taking a broad concept and, again, like spoon feeding it in small doses to people, or I don't know what this is, to be honest. This could be reorganizing your life in a lot of different ways, but the thing is, it's better for you in the smaller bits or in the smaller pieces. It's better for your health. It's better for your mind. It's better for your wellness. You may feel like you have a boss breathing down your neck. You're also trying to be very analytical about how someone sees you, because I think you may be feeling a little bit self-conscious, like your performance isn't meeting the mark or meeting the standard. But the thing is, I think when you look at the work you've produced, you have no reason to not believe that. But it feels like there's a little bit of stress with like very, very Saturn-esque energy, which is your ruling planet. Sort of like a point of authority kind of coming down on you or giving you, I don't know if it's a hard time, but you're feeling a little bit pressured by this person. And so it's like you're retreating to your happy place to like collect your thoughts. This may even be a scenario for, I'm almost getting the idea of like, okay, just don't cry in front of the boss. Don't cry in front of the boss. You may just be having a bad day. I don't do fear-based readings, right? This is not where your reading ends. Like, oh, shitty day at work. But there's something about, I think it very likely has to do with a miscommunication. Mercury is in retrograde. I think Neptune is sort of squaring Mercury by element, not by the exact degree. So Neptune being the planet that kind of dissolves and brings a lot of kind of illusion, fog, confusion to things. Ideas are not necessarily getting to the right person in the way they were intended. So I think that's what's going on here. And to be honest, I think you have the foresight to understand that something got lost in the shuffle. And it's not to say it was your fault. It's just, I don't know. I see someone coming at you needing answers like, well, why did this happen? Why didn't we make the deadline? Why this, why that? And that's what I mean. It's like you're trying to hold your own, but it's almost like your first thought is, oh my God, like, what did I do wrong? And I don't think you did. I think you need to remind yourself that you did the best you could with the tools you had. And so do not let this disturb your inner peace. That's really what the Four of Swords says. And that's sort of what I mean too, this whole kind of foggy concept of like breaking down something bigger into smaller pieces. That could also be symbolic of you kind of retracing like the start to finish of this project at work and trying to understand and go back and resolve where things kind of got off kilter. Because I'm just going to be honest, your boss seems like they're looking for answers this week, or whoever this is, your superior, your manager. I suppose it could be someone in your family, but it's someone who has, I'm just going to be honest, like a higher power position than you, Capricorn. So let me help you here, right? I'm not just going to leave you with that. The main key to this is understanding that what happened. It already transpired. So dare I even say, I'm not even sure you owe this person an apology. I don't necessarily think it was your fault that there was a miscommunication, but ultimately I think it is your responsibility to fix it and make it right, simply because it might be your job or I just heard jurisdiction. But yeah, I don't think you need to do the whole, like, I blame myself and, oh my gosh, now I don't look good in front of the like, it's worthless. Those thoughts aren't going to do anything for you. Put all that time and energy into finding the solution, because then you'll win back their approval, right? And it's not necessarily that you need their approval, but you do need this person to know that you do a good job at work, right? That's how you get paid. That's the goal, right? This is not news to you. So I would say, there's two things I would say. Check the ego. Don't worry about over-explaining yourself. And if you're in the opposite boat, if you're watching this going, it wasn't my fault, it was, John in billing or whatever, again, it's like it's like save it for Oprah. Nobody really cares what this person cares about. They are very just, they're on the work treadmill. Like, if you don't have the answers, what use are you to me? You're in kind of a cutthroat environment, or at least this week people are stressed. Again, maybe something to do with the eclipse. So it doesn't matter pointing fingers of who did what, or again, absorbing that guilt of, oh my God, how could I have done this? It doesn't matter. Just fix it. That's the message here. Give me one more card on this and then we'll move on. These are weekly readings, so again, this is probably an issue that will resolve relatively quickly, but just be prepared for it. Don't let it disturb your mental peace. Again, take a breather, take a 5-minute break outside if you just got to collect yourself. Maybe you shed some tears because you're just overwhelmed, but again, you will work through this. Of course you will, Capricorn, right? What is this? Okay, so I don't even know. I'm just going to tell you the message. This is like funny to me, but this is exactly what I got from this. Obviously, this won't be everyone's message. Whatever mishaps happened or the miscommunication that occurred, it's almost like someone may have given you word ahead of time that something was missing, and either you didn't listen to them or you didn't hear it. Because you may have been dreaming about the King of Coins, whatever this represents. Maybe it's romantic, maybe you were dreaming of your sweetheart, or maybe this is just something else. And maybe you are at a job, and if you're thinking about your bank account and you're applying to other jobs while doing the other, something may have slipped through the crack. And I think when you retrace the steps, it's almost like, do you see how there's a cup being presented to her, but she's so lost in whatever this is representing? She's literally facing the king, and gender is not a thing, right? But in this reading, she's literally facing the King of Cups, like she was dreaming about it or thinking about, I don't know, whatever this represents. It doesn't have to be romantic, but I see this as that cup, that solution, that creative idea of, hey, we should do this. You either didn't see it or you ignored it. And so I think when you go back and retrace the steps, you're gonna be like, oh my God, she told me that was going to happen. Or maybe it's this tarot reading, right? So even if you're watching this going, that's not me, be careful, because it could happen in 2 weeks and you're going to thank me then. No, all right, I'm just kidding. But that's what I get from this. The signs, the answers, the ideas are actually kind of written on the wall here. So practice good situational awareness. Don't be dreaming and daydreaming at work when you actually have a really important responsibility to do or carry out. I know this is a bit of a random message. It's just, it actually kind of presented very clearly to me. That's what's going on there. Tracing back your steps, tracing your steps. What is the deal with this King of Coins? A lot of you may be experiencing drama with your significant other, your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. And so even if it's not daydreamy, like La La Land type stuff, it could just be that, like, maybe you had an argument and you were like, is that the term, writhing or fuming about it at work, but you couldn't do anything, and it was like that was consuming your mind, and so something got lost in the shuffle. And I think when you look back, you're going to be like, that was my fault. But again, it was an honest mistake. I'm not coming down on you, but you know who will? The boss. So just be diligent. When you're at work, be at work as much as you can. I know it's silly that I'm telling Capricorn this, but you're only human, Capricorn, right? Be good to yourself. Be nice to yourself. All right, new message. That seemed very career related, so let's talk about love a little bit. Let's talk about love. Capricorn. What do we got going on here? Ooh, you got 10 of Cups. You are manifesting your happily ever after. Holy Lord. But in order to get closer to that wish, that dream, you need to appreciate the now. You need to live in the moment now, but you also need to walk away from something that you know is emotionally void at this point. Or I'm going to phrase it this way. Something that it's not necessarily serving you to stick with it. That could be a job. That could be living near your family. That could be something that is taking up a lot of space in your life that you are more or less having to compromise. Something to do with your long-term relationships. You have amazing cards. You have the Magician, you have the Ten of Cups, you have the Nine of Cups. So happily ever after, wish fulfillment. But in order to sort of, part of it is just recognizing how, for some of you, how good you have it. Like reminding yourself what a blessing it is to share your life with that person you wake up to every morning, right? For some of you, it's just gratitude. Others of you, if you're feeling like, I'm always single, where's my person? I do feel like there's some connection to family that you might need to distance yourself from. There may be an unhealthy connection to a family member or, excuse me. It doesn't mean your family is evil or that this person is evil, but there's someone who doesn't always support your goals or your dreams or your ideas. It almost feels like they try and talk you out of it from a place of protection because they love you and they want you to make the best decisions, but they're also impeding upon your growth and your freedom and your ability to thrive and go off on your own and to make mistakes, believe it or not. Not to say that I see a mistake coming in, but it's like I see you playing it too safe. That's exactly what I would say here. There's something where you need to distance yourself from, very likely a parent who's maybe kind of giving you unsolicited advice about your dating life. And the thing is, I think universe is saying you kind of got to cut the cord a little bit. You don't need to be rude. You don't need to abandon them or block their number. But there needs to be healthier boundaries in what you share with your family right now. Okay, so I also see a message here that this is a bit of a heavy one. Are you ready for this, Capricorn? I do see some of you incredibly frustrated by the fact that everyone around you is getting married. Specifically, some of you, it feels like your ex, who maybe, I don't know if you were still amicable or you used to check what they were doing online. It seems like a lot of you, it's literally being relayed to me as you throwing darts at someone's picture. Not literally, I don't think. But there's something about, I'm going to be honest, there's a little bit of like bitterness or jealousy of, I don't know if you necessarily romanticize it as the one that got away, but someone who at one point in time you had a romantic connection with, it seems like they got the Cinderella story and you're like, well, where's mine? I wouldn't even say it's not that you're not happy for them, but you want that to be your story. What you don't realize is that things are aligning where you will get what you want. Maybe you don't want the same Cinderella story. Maybe, I'm not saying everybody out there wants the wife or the husband, the kids, the car, the whatever, but whatever you imagine as the fairy tale ending, you have just as much a right to go after that and to achieve it. You have just as much opportunity to achieve that as anyone else. But I just being called to say you're tripping yourself up, though, by holding resentment towards those who are already living that now. There's a lot you don't know, too. I mean, you have to remember, a lot of you, it feels like you're seeing your ex getting married, and like the social media, you're only seeing the highlights, Capricorn, so you know as well as I, it's not always the shiny, happy people that we pretend to be on, whatever, Instagram, right? There's a lot more below the surface that is very substantial, but this person is cherry picking the good moments, right? So you just have to remember that. There's no reason for you to be bitter or have jealousy. And I know it's so easy for me to say, right? But that is a waste of your energy, and really it's negative. It's toxic energy. I feel like there's a bunch of like really cheesy quotes like, what is that thing about letting someone live in your head rent-free or something if you're always thinking about it, but it's, or what is it, something about, there's a better one. They're all the same though, aren't they? Something about, it's like you drinking poison and expecting the other person to like die or that sounds really dark, but you understand what I mean. It's like you're allowing this negative energy to kind of like fester inside of you, and it's not doing anyone good, right? If anything, if you truly love this person at one point in time, you should be happy, right? And if you're not feeling that way, That's fine. I'm not telling you how to feel, but you having a trigger of that negative energy really points out what you need to heal in your life. It's not about them. The fact that it's a trigger, that's pointing out something inside of you that needs a little bit more work. We are all just a work in progress, right? The thing is, you're on your way to your wish fulfillment, but I think for a lot of you, that's what this is. It's that final severing or cutting of the cord with whatever the situation is. I see this being an ex who got married and you are just like, it's not fair. It's that type of thing. You're going to eat your words later, because when you meet your person, it's going to blow this thing out of the water. But I do get the idea that some of you still held that belief that maybe someday, somehow, you guys would get back together. And I'm just going to be honest, for the foreseeable future, this looks like they're coupled up already and bringing it to the next level. That doesn't mean that you missed out. It doesn't mean that you were forgotten or that the universe doesn't have a plan for you. They do, but you're getting tripped up in other people's plans and other people's path. And to be honest, like, tough love, this is really none of your business. That's their life, that's their journey, that's their story. You need to focus on yours. You have wish fulfillment coming up. That wish fulfillment will come to you faster when you do the proper, I don't know if you want to call it grieving work or healing work, but making amends with the part of you that was still sort of maybe living in the past, or maybe trying to figure out a way that could work. I think you sort of got the wind knocked out of you when you saw what was happening with the ex. And so again, turning immediately to the negative energy, I get it, you're human, but that's pointing out work you need to do. And the sooner you acknowledge, ooh, yeah, something inside of me is a little bit tender. It still hurts. That's sort of a wound I have. Awesome. The fact that you've identified it means that you can work on it, that you can heal it. And you don't need to put a timeline on how long that takes. Healing is not linear, right? You need to do it in your own time, but taking strides towards understanding that you have every opportunity that person has too. You just might not be seeing it right now. That path of enlightenment leads to your wish fulfillment, okay? I know that took me a long time to get to, but that felt insanely important for a lot of you to hear. And that's a tough one. I can already kind of sense the energy there. That might not have gone down smooth for you. So again, revisit it later on. If that didn't feel like your message or you're not ready to hear it, that's valid, right? But I do think in the long term, you're going to understand that, again, holding on to resentment or jealousy or just sadness, right? Even if it's not jealousy or resentment, just holding on to that pain, you should make better use of the emotions and like work through them in a more, I don't know, useful way. Yeah, look, because 10 of coins is at the damn bottom of the deck. This can be yours too, but it's not here yet. You know, that's what bottom of the deck kind of is. Tell me more about this. Actually, do you want to know more about this? Give me one more on this 9 of Cups. What's the deal here? Possibly an offer, it could be a water sign, a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, a Knight of Cups. To be honest, this is more the energy to me of just dating around a bit. It's not necessarily a king or a queen where it's the ultimate stability, but this looks like dating. I don't know. That looks good to me. Don't be afraid to take a risk. To get out of the comfort zone, to do something a little bit differently, because that's how you're going to meet your divine counterpart. I think I've said this to you before too. The idea of meeting someone just like us is so exciting, but in the long run, it's actually going to be kind of a strained relationship, right? You want someone who challenges you to grow and give you tough love, right? So you can be the best versions of yourself with each other. Dating the exact same person you are, it's going to get old really fast. And I would even argue for some of you, that might be why this relationship ended in the first place. You were too similar. And I know that sounds crazy, but the thing is, I don't sense that this ex, for most of you, is really a bad person. I think they wanted different things in the long run. But yeah, like, I don't think this person... jealousy and bitterness is not warranted here, because this person, like, to me, my reading of it is they genuinely look like a nice person. And if you really loved them, you probably know that that's true. Were they perfect? No, but neither were you, right? Yeah, I wouldn't want that karma, of like hoping the marriage fails. Like, no, hope it succeeds. Be happy that they're happy, right? Because that means you can be too. There might be someone from your past who reaches out to you. Tell me a little bit about this. this is so karmic to me too. This whole story of you discovering your ex has a person and this and that happened to someone else in your life when you started dating someone and you weren't even aware. It's like you were off dreaming of, like, sparks, this kind of sexual energy, whatever it is, with someone else. But this person behind you, they're looking at you like, oh, she didn't choose me or whatever. So that's what I mean. This story, there's a reversal to this too. Someone from your past, you were their wish fulfillment at one point in time and you chose someone else, but I don't think you know who this person is. Or if you do, you never considered them like a romantic match. Something about that may come back around, again, especially with a water sign, particularly a Scorpio. But what's interesting, though, is if at one point in time you were still connected to this person and they have moved on, it actually may open a door for this person from the past to come back in. But I want to be clear, I don't think you've ever dated this person before. This may have been someone you went to school with, particularly college or something to do with higher education, or they're a teacher. If you are going back to school, I don't know why this is coming through so strongly, but you may meet someone in a similar course of study or someone who's pursuing the same, masters as you or something like that. My deck reverse. Ooh, interesting. Earth and water. Yeah, you have a lot of water energy showing up here. So possibly something with an earth sign or a water sign. Either way, this is a beautiful new blessing, right? Take advantage of it. I would put more optimism and lighthearted energy into the world. And if you're not feeling that way, it's not that you have to fake it, but that is pointing out an area that maybe you do need to work on internally, right? Before you put yourself out there on the dating market. Just as general courtesy to your future partners or whatever, right? Don't go out there looking to put a Band-Aid over your pain and, dating other people as a way to not deal with, again, things that need to be healed, for the long term. That's just general courtesy for everyone, right? You don't want to end up dating someone who's kind of broken inside. It has nothing to do with being judgmental. It's just, that's not fair. You're not an equal playing field there, even playing field. All right, Capricorn. I'm going to leave you with that. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune, bottom of the deck. Ooh, and the King of Cups. See, this gets better the further down I go. And if you're not into the King of Cups, you also got the Knight of Coins. I put my money on Earth and Water in the coming weeks or months. Earth and Water is looking really good. There might be a Cancer or another Capricorn thinking about you. Sexually. Ace of Wands. All right, Cap, I'm going to leave you with that. Please remember to like the video, subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Thanks for joining me here today, and I will see you next Wednesday for more tarot. Bye, guys.